Proceeding with the count. MEQ, establish swing arm lock pins pull.
Active.
SYS, establish record on change list activated.
Activated.
L-minus 6 minutes.
All polls are complete. All console positions are ready to go. Launch scheduled for 8:26 a.m. Eastern Time. One and a half minutes remaining in our hold. Launch minus
minus
5
5
minutes and counting.
MEQ, report swing arm system ready.
Ready.
All steps are complete prior to the terminal count.
Launch minus 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Launch minus 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Standing by to enter the terminal count at T-minus 4 minutes in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
T-minus 4 minutes and counting.
Upper stage lock securing started. Vehicle transferring internal.
3 minutes, 50 seconds.
The common booster core liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen tank securing will be started at T-minus 3 minutes, 32 seconds. Also, vehicle transfer from ground facility power to its own internal battery
3
power.
minutes, 32 seconds.
CVC propellant tank securing started. Vehicle transfer internal complete. Safe locks secure at flight level.
Vehicle ordnance system will be armed and the common booster core liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen propellant tanks will be verified at T-minus 3 minutes.
CVC pre-press. Hold. Fuel 1. Fuel and drain not closed.
Roger.
2 places.
ALC, hold fire on.
Hold fire on.
Verify script aborted.
Aborted.
Sequencer is stopped. Launch enabled, disabled. GE, establish main power on.
Man power is on.
CST1, switch BSS 1 and 2, force to channel 1 umbilical.
That's complete.
SYS, establish alarms enabled.
Enabled.
ATC3, establish vehicle heaters, automated control enabled.
Enabled.
LC can verify T-minus 30 and 60 second limits are off. GE, verify arm igniters reset.
Verified.
TM1, flight lock-in reset.
Establish reset.
What we know at this point is that a hold was called because a fuel and drain valve did not close on one of the liquid oxygen or liquid hydrogen systems for one of the 3 common booster cores. Standing by for more details.
ATC1 LC. ATC1 LC.
ATC1.
Any constraint for vehicle transfer external?
No constraint.
Roger. SYS, established record on change list, deactivated.
Deactivated.
ATC3, vehicle ordnance safe.
Established safe.
OSM, report FTS SNA 1 and 2 safe.
Safe.
OSM on pad safety panel, solid motor SNA arm permit safe.
Safe.
ATC3, vehicle transfer external.
Vehicle transferring external.
We have 1 hour and 15 minutes, 55 seconds remaining in today's launch window for Orion. We remain in a hold with a little under an hour remaining in our launch window today because of an issue that cropped up as we were in the terminal count with about 3 minutes to go prior to an anticipated launch, and a command was given to close the fill and drain valves on all 3 of the common booster cores. The left and center or core boosters, the LOX or liquid oxygen fill and drain valves did not show closed when they were commanded to close, and since then the team has been troubleshooting by commanding the 6 valves, 2 for or 1 each for liquid oxygen and 1 each for hydrogen on all 3 of the boosters in order to ensure that when they are commanded open, they show open, and when they're commanded closed, they show closed. And during the last launch attempt earlier this morning, when on the Delta IV heavy launch vehicle, as we were counting down about 3 minutes away from the planned launch time, the left end core or center common booster core liquid oxygen fill and drain valves did not close properly, and this has resulted in troubleshooting of all the different fill and drain valves on the rocket's first stage. In other words, the liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen valves on the left, center, and right boosters. And that resulted in success with all 3 liquid oxygen valves. Total success for the right booster on hydrogen, and discussions are still underway on the status of the left and center liquid hydrogen fill and drain valves and what kind of troubleshooting could be accomplished to ensure that they are closing and opening properly. And we'll be standing by to hear a plan. We have a little bit under 44 minutes to go in our launch window today, which closes at 9:44 a.m. Eastern Time. And the intent is that the Icona will allow us to, weather permitting, see Orion descend under parachutes and splash down in the Pacific later today. This is our best means by which we expect to see video of the splashdown and recovery. So it's good news. The Icona is airborne. It's awaiting Orion to be airborne. And hopefully we'll be seeing some great video live from the Icona later in the day today. The count in about 25.5 minutes in order to reach the end of the window at 9:44 a.m. Eastern Time. We're still awaiting word on the anomaly resolution, trying to determine whether or not the team is able to successfully cycle the liquid hydrogen fill and drain valves on 2 of the common booster cores that have not been cooperative yet this morning. Troubleshooting that has been ongoing for the liquid hydrogen fill and drain valves on 2 of the common booster cores on the Delta IV Heavy rocket.
Troubleshooting steps for you.
We recommend that for the CBC LH2 tanks, we reinitiate reduce fast fill, refill the tanks in hope of jostling the valves enough to get them to cycle, the fill and drain valves to cycle properly. And following the fill, go ahead and do the 5-cycle test.
Roger that, and we did not have success on the last test.
That is correct. Port partial success, core no success.
Roger. LC concurs. ATC-1, LC?
ATC-1.
Are you ready to perform the troubleshooting plan as discussed by AC?
Roger. We'll perform a reduced fast fill with storage tank pressure at 25, and it will be a manual cycling of the fast fill valves, all 3 CBCs.
Roger. Proceed.
So with about 20 minutes left in our launch window today, the team is preparing to make one last attempt at clearing the fill and drain valve issue that has cropped up.
Prevailing winds to disable the alarm for the DLPS monitoring. We will go to a manual monitor to be performed by me. We have new constraints, which are 19.5 knots from 0 to 32 degrees azimuth, 21.5 knots between 33 and 42 degrees azimuth, and 23.5 knots between 43 and 52 degrees azimuth. And I'm prepared to manually monitor that between T-4 and 30 seconds. Call hold if required.
Roger, and one question with that, AC, would I just go ahead and halt the script control for the placard set, or are we going to actually take the parameter to have disabled in the alarm list?
We will disable the parameter.
Roger that. LC copies and concurs. LD?
LD concurs.
And while the issue with the fill and drain valves is being worked, other teams have been off working the computer sensing system that caused 2 of our attempts today to be halted within the 4-minute mark because of high winds, and they're going to a different method of monitoring the winds with different constraints for what we hope to be another attempt here this morning. We're standing by for them to work through the items. We'll need to pick up the count within the next 13 minutes. Our launch attempt today. We're in the 4-minute hold.
SYS, LC Net 1?
SYS.
And you have the winds parameter ready to disable at this time?
That's the ASWMON_VIOL_S.
Affirmative. Proceed.
And because of our extended hold, managers are once again polling their teams to get a go, no go for launch.
Okay, we are, the count is starting and we're at L minus 14 minutes, 46 seconds.
Roger that.
Fourteen and a half minutes till launch. L minus 14 minutes. Launch minus 12 minutes, 30 seconds. Launch minus 11 minutes, 30 seconds, and we're standing by for words on the resolution to the fill and drain valve problem. And meanwhile, we are counting down to the end of the launch window.
L minus
LC,
10 minutes.
this is LD on channel 1.
Go, LD.
LC, at this time, we recommend we scrub for today's operation based on issues we're working. So please set up for a 24-hour recycle. We'll let engineering go evaluate our configuration.
Roger. ALC, hold fire on. Timer, do not release the hold.
Roger.
Hold fire on.
United Launch Alliance launch conductor Scott Barney recommending a scrub for today. And we will set up for a 24-hour recycle.
On net 1, we are scrub for today. We'll proceed into Operation 80, scrub detank operations. Order latch reset.
Reset.
TM1, order latch reset.
Reset.
T-4 limits are off. TM1, pre-TPA spin off.
Off.
MEQ, establish HAZ-GAS scan pattern 305. MEQ, LC net 1.
Roger.
LOX 1, launch enable, disable.
Disable.
Fuel 1, launch enable, disable.
Disable.
P&E, launch enable, disable.
Disable.
GE, launch enable, disable.
Disabled.
MEQ, establish swing arm lock pins installed. MEQ, LCNet 1.
Go.
Establish swing arm lock pins installed.
Roger.
And MEQ, shut down hydraulic system.
Roger.
OSM, launch enable, disable.
Disabled.
OSM, solid motor SNA arm permit, safe.
Safe.
DSE, LCNet 1. Establish T4 PCM data transfer nominal for data station PCM selection item.
That's complete.
TC ord enable is off. Or bus enable, disabled. ALC, establish T4 script screen.
Roger.
PNE, perform initial securing.
Roger.
OSM on pad safety panel, bypass range to bypass.
Bypass.
ALC, establish range hold fire, normal.
Normal.
Timer 1, establish plus count for securing operations.
Roger.
SYS, LC,
SYS.
please re-enable the winds parameter.
In work.
We'll require that for detank. ECS, verify ECS ready to support detanking.
Verified.
ECS, maintain interstage and LH2 tank forward skirt GN2 purge set points until it locks Delta P shows tank is empty.
Roger.
MEQ, LC,
Go.
can you verify lock pins installed and hydraulics are secured?
Lock pins are installed and hydraulics is in the process of being secured.
Roger. Alert me when that's complete, and then you can perform system securing.
Roger.
ATC-1, proceed with CBC and upper stage LH2 detank.
Roger.
And ATC-1, proceed with CBC and upper stage LOX detank.
Roger.
ALC, stand by. SYS, LC,
SYS.
has that parameter enabled?
Yes.
Roger that. ALC, transition wind monitor placard 3.
Roger.
CME, LC, net 1. CME, LC, net 1.
This is CME on 1, Roger.
Restore pad count.
Yep.
Partial avionics power down.
Roger.
today. The United Launch Alliance Delta IV Heavy rocket at Space Launch Complex 37 at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, sitting poised for launch with the Orion spacecraft atop. Due to a number of issues that cropped up during our launch window today, and despite the valiant attempts of the launch team and mission managers around the country, we basically ran out of time in trying to troubleshoot the last of the issues, which was a problem with fill and drain valves on the Common Core booster of the Delta IV Heavy launch vehicle. The valves had performed throughout the day just fine until we got into our last hold, at which point some issues cropped up. And so teams need more time to assess what the issue is. And while there was some discussion about going for one final launch attempt at the end of the launch window at 9:44 a.m. Eastern Time, managers recognized that because of some declining current in batteries on the Delta video system related to cameras, it would be more prudent to save the battery life for a potential launch attempt tomorrow rather than using the batteries up and turning them on when we reach T-minus 4 minutes and counting today for an attempt that may or may not have been valid based on the uncertainty whether the fill and drain valve troubleshooting would have been complete in time. So a decision by management was made to postpone launch for today, and we will stand by for more information on that. And I am going to, at this point, turn NASA television back to Brandy Dean at Hangar AE, Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in the Mission Director Center. Brandy?
Thanks, Mike. It's unfortunate that we won't get to see Orion launch into space today, but of course that does mean that we have a chance to enjoy another launch day tomorrow. So we'll hope for the best on that. If we are able to try again tomorrow, a pending resolution of the issues with the Delta IV Heavy rocket, our launch time would be the same, 7:05 a.m. Eastern Time, and we would start coverage here on NASA television at 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern. We'll also hope to give you some more information on our plans for tomorrow in a briefing that will be coming up on NASA television, and we'll let you know the time for that as soon as we are able. But stay tuned here, and of course, check out nasa.gov for more information. Thanks so much, and we'll hope to see you again tomorrow.